Silva. I'm coming from Rocky Mount College High School because I'm doing a presentation on graduation project for the high school in order to graduate. I believe that talking about drug prevention among minors, especially at young age, is really helpful, and it should be emphasized to an extent where everybody should learn the basics of how to prevent it and how to be more aware of drug prevention among minors, because once you get to middle school and high school, it's more different perspective. You start seeing way more different type of stuff. It's just different. And for drug prevention, I chose this topic because it's really personal. When I was going to a middle school, you know, you just see a whole lot more stuff going on within drugs and all that type of stuff in middle school. And really in elementary, you don't see it, but I think we should make y'all prepared in order for y'all to be more aware of what's going on, so nobody else can just say, hey, drugs is cool, drugs is this. That's a lie. That is not true at all. Usually, you'll see later on that statistics show that people who tend to use drugs will have a worse life, have a poor job, go to jail, and just not get a good life. Get an education is the way to go in order to succeed in life. And this drug, can you change it?
Yeah.
Like I said, there's always a peer pressure among teenagers. There would be in middle school, for example, when you get to there, you will see other students, how they're be saying, hey, drugs is cool, drugs do this, drugs make you feel the high effect, you know, and you want to be like, hey, I want to be a part of it, but that's not really the way to go, because drugs would get you to the wrong way. One of my cousins, apparently he died in a car accident because of drug abuse, to some extent, as to what we know. And I really would not want any of y'all or your brothers, you know what I'm saying, or y'all precious kids, there's no really words to express how I feel about y'all, see what I'm saying? Y'all have everything in the world, y'all young, y'all got health, and there's really no words to express how much of a huge life you still got left in front of y'all, and how much success y'all can have in life. So by doing this type of things, you can end your life that same day. This is not the way to go. This is what you tend to see in schools later on, and I just think that it's important to express this, because if we don't express this is what can be trafficking in school, and this is not the way to go. You see this type of stuff, drug use. If you ever see this type of stuff, make your teachers aware. Let them know. Let them have a strong connection within the class, so that the teachers can be aware and can stop this type of crime going in within the school, so that none of your friends or something, they won't fall into this type of category going this way. So I just believe that if you have confidence within your teachers, your principal, it makes a strong bond connection. You will definitely be able to stop most of this, because we as students see a lot of stuff that teachers tend to miss. You know what I'm saying? And students are the key to stopping this type of crime within the school. And like I said, drugs affect our community day by day. All the channel news you see, crimes, killings. You got people driving impaired. You got all type of people getting robbed, people getting killed. This is the reality. This is what drugs are doing. Most of them, the high rates is because of drugs. You get drugs also tend to get into our schools and threaten the survival of the students' academic success. You were getting A's, straight A's, and A's and B's. You start using drugs, you start feeling depressed. You will start feeling way different, and you will not, by any means, you would have to get a lot of help to try to get back on track, and it's just better not to try it at all, so you can have academic success. I personally went here to Stone Elementary School. I've been here. She was my former teacher, and this is why I came here to Stone Elementary School, because I just have a really strong connection here. This is where all my elementary was. This is where I formed my basic education. This is where I learned a lot of stuff that helped me out throughout middle school, and even now through college, through high school. It helped me do something basic as doing homework and studying and doing good on quizzes, reading. All those type of stuff would help you succeed. And this is why I came here. See what I'm saying? And I went to the Western Rockhead Middle School also. That's where I presented also, but that's just for the strong connection that I'm here. See what I'm saying? And since I kept away myself from drugs, that's the only reason that, mostly the reason why I went to Rockhead Maryland College High School and still get an education. And I'm about to, and next year hopefully I'll get an associate degree in pre-law to be a lawyer. So if I become a lawyer, I succeeded. I've done my part in preventing drug abuse. And this, I told them friends. Yeah, I can tell you, I told them friends that were using drugs. I told the teacher, but that I was only doing my part as a citizen of this country, and of the school as a whole part, because we're technically a family. We come in every day, we sit down, we study together, we eat together, and we talk together. So I did my part, told the teachers. Yeah, they might have called me snitch, or hey, you're telling, hey, you coward, but it don't matter, because I felt my conscience. I was doing the right thing. I was telling them on somebody that could damage myself and all my other buddies. And I had to get a mentor for this to help me out also, because my mentor challenged me to an extent where he would teach me more ways to prevent drug abuse, because I try to email DARE, CARE. Those programs work, they actually work, but it only raises effectiveness to some extent. It's a way to raise awareness. Now we have to do our part as students in the school to prevent drugs from being in our schools, and from students from abusing of drugs. So my mentor was Richard Jeffries, Eden Police Department. He's a law enforcer and detective. He helps day by day trying to change the community, getting those criminals and all those drug abusers out of the streets, so that we can have a more, we can go out there without the fear of getting robbed, of getting stolen, or getting killed. It's at a much lower rate now because of these people like this, Richard Jeffries, who do their job day by day, getting drug off the streets. And that is definitely a very helpful prevention from drugs continuing their flow within the society itself. I had an academic advisor at Mr. Buck. He's an ex-military man, so he was kind of strict, you know, kind of tall, and he was really strict. I mean, he was not. There's no kidding with him. You gotta. He said the RCHS, and he helped me form this presentation and to present it to y'all. Like I said, drugs can affect our students' grades, their dropout rates. Once you get to high school, if you had already been using drugs in middle school, or even before that, you tend to not. Their statistics show that they will not continue high school, and much less college. They will get into low working pay jobs. They tend to be more aggressive. You don't listen anymore, and all of this leads to your own destruction. All you had, or you ever will be, if you start using drugs, this will destroy most of the part of your life. And it only takes one decision to affect your entire life. And then there's no point of regretting using drugs after I mean, you made a mistake. It could affect your entire life. The statistics are 41% of students who drop out are alcohol users. So that's a huge chunk. If we could get that 41% back to zero, just imagine how many more graduates we would have, how many more successful people you will see in the community, how much less violence you will see in your community, how much less drugs you will see within your community. Those numbers, they scare me to death, because 41% could triple at any time if we don't continue to try to prevent these drugs. 41% of dropouts is because of drug abuse. 56.8 of students who drop out were cigarette users. Alcohol, you know, all those type of drugs. Alcohol is the most commonly used drug. Many people don't think as alcohol being a drug because they sell it at Walmart and all that stuff. But it is. It impairs your ability to think the right way. It impairs your ability to drive right and just to make the correct decisions while you are conscious. These are statistics as of alcohol, the percentages of drug user or dropouts in schools, and as you can see, it's mainly because of all different type of drugs that we have that our dropout rates are increasing. And with dropout rates, you get more unemployment rates, you get more uneducated people to some extent. So this rates really help a lot to visualize how much of an impact it has within our community. And not necessarily because you use drugs, it means you're going to go to jail, but you're making your way. You're opening the door to go to prison. Who wants to go to prison now? Nobody wants to go to prison. It's no fun place. It's bad. Dropout rates most of the time. People in there in the prisons will tell you most of them are dropouts. And they were mostly drug abusers and all that type of stuff. I think we have a solution within our hands. If a student does his part to help prevent it, you see any type of drug activity going on with the school, tell your principal, tell your teacher. You should not be afraid of being called a snitch. You should not be afraid of letting your teachers know, letting your parents know what's going on. If you ever see it, just tell your teachers. It definitely helps a lot. We can create a program that awareness in our elementary schools, because once they start middle school, they aren't into it. But if you're forming yourself with prevention techniques, the tendency is you'll tend to practice them within middle school, and it'll be the same thing. Middle school, keep on cleaning, and until you would have a more perfect, cleaner generation, which you can be proud of, that created inventions, our lawyers, doctors, the leaders of this country, and not the ones in prison. See what I'm saying? So you can visualize, just to visualize how different school could be if you can get all those drugs out of the schools. Visualize and visualize in your mind and make it happen. Believe it can happen. They have shown statistics that the more we tend to integrate programs within schools, we have a higher success of preventing drug abuse within the minors. Strengthens the bond to success, which is the key word, success. Achieve success. See what I'm saying? Now is a good time to talk and speak up and say something, move on about underage drinking. All those laws that we have. I know if y'all been to Walmart, y'all can see you can't drink before you're 21. You have to show proof ID and all that stuff. Y'all been to Walmart, what's up with what they have. So it's better to speak now if you see any people using those type of drugs. That's a way to do your part within the society to prevent drug abuse. As something as common as alcohol that could kill. You could be a victim of this drug abuse any day. You could be in a car with your mom, dad, and somebody could just crash into you because they were abusing this drug. The DEA, U.S. agency, supports initiatives. This is what they have. I quoted this because they said supportive initiatives to reduce the demand for drugs and give assistance to your community and drug prevention initiatives. this is a quote that I like because it's showing that you can support initiatives to reduce the drugs and give assistance to your community. Help your community out. Play your role in the community. Drug prevention. And I know most of y'all right now are minors and y'all can't really volunteer. But I want y'all to keep in mind that one day you will be able to volunteer. You will have the age to volunteer. And volunteering is a good thing. It makes you feel great because I personally volunteered on places and it gives you a pride of yourself. It helps you. And making you feel part of something is definitely gonna help you have a higher self-esteem of yourself, have more confidence, boost your pride of your work and everything. And this right here, if you volunteer, I'm telling you, it would definitely help yourself because you would feel much better of yourself. Now, do y'all have any questions as to drug prevention? I mean, go ahead and ask, you have any questions? Okay.
Quiet, bro.